Good evening and welcome, Canadian football fans, soccer fans, but let's be honest, let's call it by its real name. Welcome to the second live broadcast of the season here on Capital City Supporters Group, trying to bring you as much content as possible during these long, dark winters and footballless nights. We've got a fantastic evening coming up. We've got a top guy and a very, very well-informed member of Atletico Ottawa's team here to have a good chat with us. It's the director of ticketing, Nick Ryan. Before we bring him in, though, just to give you a little bit of background, Atletico Ottawa, the inaugural team, the first expansion team into the Canadian Premier League this season, had a fantastic debut year, we have to say. Looking at the standings, you might not think so, but hey, you don't know what to expect when a team first comes into it. They had some cracking performances, scored what was voted by One Soccer as the best goal of the tournament as well there with Malcolm Shaw. If you want any more details about the season review, make sure you head to our YouTube channel, Capital City Supporters Group, and go and subscribe there, and you can go and check out the hour-long season review video that myself and Eddie Benhin, co-founder of 613 Sports and content producer here at Capital City Supporters Group, did live then as well. And there was also a bit of a guest appearance at the tail end by Nick too. So that was the season in review. Only 1 year since the club was established. So I think before we bring Nick in, the best thing that we could do is show you the video of the commissioner of the Canadian Premier League himself introducing the Atletico football team.
When we first started talking about the league, we were asked quite a bit about Ottawa, and we want a franchise in Ottawa. From the very beginning, our owners and our clubs and the league office has always said that we wouldn't be a truly Canadian league for Canadians by Canadians unless we had a team here in Ottawa. So this for me is a momentous day, one that I'll never forget. It started, and it gets better, because it started with a dinner last spring amongst friends. We became fast friends. And it was only just because, as it happens in this beautiful game that we play, that it's a very fraternal type game. Everyone wants to help. And so what started off with, what can we do to help you? How can we help develop? How can we help teach? How can we share? It turned into, we really like this league. We love your country. We'd like to be part of it. And it leads us to today. So I can't think of anything else to say but thank you to Atletico de Madrid and to Miguel Angel and his team. They are fantastic people. I can tell you right now, Ottawa has won the lottery today. This team, this is an organization that has 116 years of history playing football globally. It can't get any better than that.
There we go, back again. Terribly sorry about that, guys. in live broadcasting is nothing but entertaining and terribly embarrassing for the person whose face it is on screen when he doesn't know what's going on. So that was the video there, the commissioner of the Canadian Premier League introducing Atletico Ottawa as a franchise set up by the mother club of a very similar name in Madrid there, Atletico Madrid. So you're with me, Thomas Stockting, on Capital City Supporters Groups. Make sure you hit every single one of these socials down below. But to the main event, let me introduce you, the director of ticketing and all-round bloody good bloke, Nick Ryan. How are you doing, matey? Hello,
Muted.
pal.
Oh, I'm good. Here we are. I'm doing well, Thomas. Thanks for the introduction. It was nice to see you caught off guard there by the stream not kicking in for you.
As I said, live is the enthusiastic thing about live. Your heart's racing a little bit. You're a little silly on camera as I'm typing away, going, guys, what's going on behind the scenes here? But no, grand. I'm glad to be here. I'm really glad to have you with us. First of all, before we even dive into all my multitude of questions about the club and the franchise and everything that's going to be going on over the next season, especially looking back at some of the stuff that happened as well. For you during this off season, you keeping yourself busy, or are you there twiddling your thumbs?
No, there is a lot to do. A lot of planning, a lot of contingency planning. We have a very, very small condensed team at the moment, and it's everyone wearing a lot of hats. So, planning marketing, planning the season ticket drive, planning the deposit drive, definitely keeping us busy, and also trying to engage the fans in the off season, right? It's a long off season for us this year. It's probably one of the longest in soccer history. So for the CPL, so it's going to be tough to like you said, keep busy, but we got a ton to do, and we got that run up that we didn't have in the first year of Atletico Ottawa. So a lot to do.
Yeah, I will correct you from the term soccer because it's 100% football and I am sticking to it. But no, you're absolutely right. There was such a short turnaround for you guys this season, the inaugural season. So it'll be a very different beast. And you mentioned a couple of things there that we'll touch on a little bit later in this Q&A. But I think you mentioned keeping the fans entertained, keeping the fans busy and engaged during this off season. I think the nicest place to start is that we put out some feelers over the last couple of weeks on social media. We asked some of the fans what they think, any questions they had regarding a variety of different events. And I have a few questions myself, which I'm more than glad to get into. But I think the nicest way to start is to see what the fans themselves truly wanted to ask. So this first question came over on Twitter by I'm going to go Journey. Is that like a horse? Journey. And he asks, or they ask, when are we getting collective patches? So, Nick, hit us. What's going on?
Yes, definitely. So the collective was a great initiative, great response from the fans. When it comes to the patches, everyone should have received their digital patch. If you didn't get it yet, you can reach out to me, nicholas.ryan@atleticoottawa.club, and I can get you fixed up with that. The physical badges should actually be here in what I'm told is 5 days, either delivered to the CPL office or to our office in Ottawa here at TD Place. So we will be getting them this week, or early next week. And then for distribution, we're going to have, the option to pick it up at the shop. So you can come in anytime and grab your collective badge. If you don't want to come in and grab it, what we can do is when you do, say, buy season tickets, I do assume most of our collective members will be season ticket members. We're happy to put the badge in your season ticket package. And so that way you have it for the start of the season, in which place you can get it pressed on your jersey to show everyone you're a collective member. So that's our plan right now. We should be sending a communication out on it once we actually have them in hand. We take a look at them all, make sure, everything's good with them. So should be hearing more about that in the next week and a half. But they are on their way. They have been made. They're just waiting to get in your hands at this point.
And you mentioned that they're going to be sitting sitting pretty in the local store down there by TD Place. Before we move on to the next question, is there an indeterminate amount of time there? Because obviously, say people aren't buying a season ticket for next season just yet. They're seeing there's a crunch on people's wallets, obviously, with the pandemic at the moment, and there's social distancing and a modified stage 2 that we're living with at the moment. So are they going to be held for an indeterminate amount of time? Can people rock up in like 6 months' time to get them, or is there sort of like a date you have to come and get yours by?
Right now, I mean, like you said, we can't put a date on it. It's going to be when you can come get it, please come get it. Our staff at the store, which is the same staff that if you've ever been to any OSEG event, that it's the same people that staff the store that sell our merch. So anytime you want to come get it, and then there'll be a point where we say, hey, it's going to be in your season ticket package. If you're not buying season ticket, hey, at the first game, come pick it up, whatever you want to do. But we're not going to get rid of them. We're not going to say, oh, it's too slow. So no problem there.
It's good to know. It's good to know. I know people like me tend to forget things for a while.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to question number 2. This one's submitted by Martin Burt. When will the largest size away jerseys be back in stock? And obviously, to expand upon that question, when any jerseys where we're lacking in certain stocks and certain sizes, you got any sort of replenishing dates for us?
So on the jersey topic, anyone who didn't receive a jersey with their collective membership because we ran out of sizing, they've all been communicated to. So everyone in that kind of group knows what's going on. Basically, we cannot order more of the current 2020 jerseys because we have to order a minimum amount, that minimum amount being very high. As you can imagine, it's typically you order your jerseys for the season at the beginning of the season and kind of, and we, our fan base isn't big enough to justify ordering that much. So our plan is for those collective members that say don't have their jersey in stock is to provide them with a 2021 jersey of their choice. So there won't be any more jerseys in their current form coming in larger sizes. The 2021 jerseys will be coming and we'll have a full. We've now learned how the Macron sizing works, and we plan on ordering, many more of the 4XLs, 3XLs, because me personally, in a t-shirt, I wear a large or an XL. In the Atletico jersey, I'm a 3XL. So you kind of have to.
You feel really good about your body there.
Yeah, I know. You put it on, you're like, this fits like a really tight glove. No, this is not good. So yeah, running into a bit of an issue there. Our first year, some hiccups. And to be honest, we didn't actually place our own jersey order. It was placed by the league because of our run-up time and having to get those jerseys manufactured as soon as possible. So we'll see new 2021 jerseys. And they'll be in a whole slew of sizes. And we've made good with all the collective members. We offered them a little extra something because they actually had to wait, miss an entire season and not get to wear their jersey. So most people seem to be good about it, like our fans are usually.
To expand on that point as well, Nick, are there going to be big differences between the home and away jerseys for the 2021 season? Can you reveal?
I like what you're doing there, but I can't tell you.
You can't. Okay. I was just sort of putting a feeler out there. How different are the jerseys going to be? Because there is an element, of course, as well of retaining that jersey from the inaugural season, which is something itself. As you said, you can't manage. You got out and got in touch with the collective members who hadn't received theirs, and that's all been dealt with. So a little nugget there of a little tease, potential new jerseys for next season. Moving on to Nikki Miller, who asked, what happened to our season ticket deposit? And we never got that jersey that was promised. So again, part 2 of that question has been answered in your previous answer. But what happened with this season ticket deposits there, Nick? I know there's some rumblings around what actually occurred with that money there. Yeah.
So the season ticket deposits are in everyone's account. So if you placed a season ticket deposit, the first ticket you buy from us, whether it's a season ticket, smaller package, or a single game ticket, your $50 is going to be subtracted from the total cost of your package. So deposits aren't lost. They're there. They're available. You're going to get them. Of course, I didn't fully answer her second part of her question there because the jerseys couldn't be delivered because we couldn't sell season tickets, right? So as soon as we can, the deposit is what you put towards your season ticket. The season ticket is what gets you a jersey, right? So because of that, we didn't deliver on any jerseys because no season tickets were purchased, right? So deposits are in your account for 2021. 2021 season tickets will go on sale later this year. And as soon as you buy one, you're on the list for a jersey. When you get your season membership package, your jersey will be there. That's how we hope it all works.
And so this is essentially going into more of a credit scheme now. Essentially, you've got some stuff in the backlog for you, and you can utilize that at a future date.
Yeah, and that's the way it was to work in 2020 as well. The $50 is just a credit on your account. You're supporting the club from the very beginning. You're a founding member. $50 sits in your account. As soon as you buy tickets, that $50 gets applied. If you buy a season membership, you get a jersey included with your membership.
Wonderful. Thank you for that one, Nick. Moving on to John Baker now. What is the plan for next year if there will be no fans allowed in stadiums again? Very big question. Have you got any rumblings from the league? Are we looking at another island games situation, or do you think there'll be enough into provincial travel? What's the behind the door talk at the moment?
Well, not much development on that front. Of course, it's changing so much, right, every day. When it comes to another island games, let's pray that doesn't happen. As much as entertaining as it was, not financially sustainable for the league, for the clubs. I'm sure if we had to do it, we would, but not great for us as people who want to support the club and see it. In terms of next year with fans in the stadium, the great thing we have going for us here is we have a 24,000 seat stadium that's open air that allows for, physical distancing. The way I see it personally, in a positive light, at 25% capacity, we have 6,000 fans joining us watching a game, which obviously isn't great. We want to be at 10,000 fans. We want to be at 15,000 fans. We want to have 24,000 fans there for the inaugural home opener. But right now, what I see potentially happening is, a 25% capacity or maybe a little less even. But the positive thing we have going for us is we have a large stadium, open air. Everyone can physical distance. You're seeing it a bit across the United States right now. Then there's other challenges that come along with it. The Atlantic bubble. How does that work if we need to go to Halifax and come back in quarantine? So obviously there's going to be a lot of things that need to be allowed by local and provincial and federal public health units to make the season happen. But let's hope we're in a much better spot than we're in right now.
So I take it there are a number of talks that still need to occur, and as you said, with the ever-changing climate of this pandemic, it's not something that you can actually even try and build something concrete. It's just these loose. We think we might be able to do this potentially. So this is sort of like a loose framework at the moment. Because I mean, like the suggestion that you said about reduced fans, we're seeing that across the European top leagues as well. I mean, France and I think Italy and Germany have started introducing fans to their stadiums again. So something of the sorts would be a nice alternative, but as you say, it would be a little bit of a shame to not be able to have that full stadium.
Exactly. And there is, before I move on just for 1 second, there is one, if you place your deposit, if you become a season seat member, you're the first person who gets let into the stadium, right? At any capacity. If we're only allowed 2,000 fans, the first 2,000 season seat members or first 2,000 deposits we have, those are the people coming to the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you want in, that's going to be your best way for sure.
All right, grand. So that's a big shout out to everyone right there looking at keeping an eye on potential Christmas presents, New Year's presents for a season ticket for next year. That's an incentive. Jumping on to Amy's question right now. When will the club unveil the collective wall, and where will it be within the grounds at TD Place? Very good question,
love,
Amy. Very good question. Where's the wall going to be?
Honestly, it is a great question. We're working with OSAG. It's not our stadium, right? We don't own it. We're a tenant of TD Place. I love how she calls it the grounds at TD Place. I feel like that's something we need to get into that proper football lingo, right?
Applaud you there, Amy.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't have an answer for it. It's going to be similar to what the other teams are doing, and I don't know exactly where it's going to go. We're working with OSAG on something. Hopefully, we can put up that's actually permanent, that we don't have to take down every game and put up, some sort of banner or something like that. So hopefully, I have further details on that. But that's as some people like to put it right now. That's a bit of a future Nick problem. As soon as we get some clearance on OSAG on actually what we can do, then we'll develop it and go from there. But I can assure you it will be there somewhere, and it will have everyone's name who bought the collective on it. So
Perfect. I'm gonna ask you towards the end something with slightly less of a professional hat on, and ask you more about a personal fan question on that matter towards the end. But we'll come back around to it. So I think that's the end of the questions that we had sent in. One of the biggest things for me, obviously, has been, and as has been almost mentioned in every single one of these questions, is the collective. The collective was very unique to this season, and it came with a variety of benefits. Before we even go into looking at all of them, there's a little graphic here that's come up on your screen that looks at the benefits that were the price of the membership, as well as the benefits that you got from subscribing to it. Was the collective just for the 2020 season, Nick, or can people continue to subscribe to it? And really, what benefits are there to sign up to it now when you've missed out on the 2020 season?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's still available to buy. And the real only value right now is getting a jersey and getting your name on that wall. I guess a digital crest as well. You're not going to get the physical crest at this point because they've been manufactured. So it is a 2020 thing. And from what I've been told, it stands to be only a 2020 thing. So you've joined, you're in, you're part of the collective forever. I'm not saying you're going to still be reaping benefits 3 years down the road, other than seeing your name on the mural and your picture. But there isn't a whole lot that the collective has to offer at this point, other than that I'm a part of it type feeling, right? So it won't. We haven't seen any more sales of it, since the end of the Island Games. It is up and available, but it's pretty much done for now. And then as we move into next year, collective members will get some priority access, some footage, things like that.
Absolutely. And before we sort of just focus on the next year and what might not have been available, can you just go back to sort of some of the bigger perks that are available this season with the collective, and things that maybe people are still coming in? We know the physical patches are still coming in. So what were the perks this season, and what are people are still waiting?
Yeah, it's mainly right now. It's the patches that people are waiting for. Emails were sent out with exclusive content. We had, I believe, 4 long video pieces of exclusive content. Some of on social media now. Oh, I went off. Sorry, I'm in again. Yeah, it's the jersey, it's the one soccer subscription, being able to watch all the Island Games, your name and picture on the wall. And then from now on, it's an exclusive club. If you joined and you supported the CPL and Atletico Ottawa during the Island Games and what was a crazy year, you're a part of that forever. And we're going to continue to appreciate all our fans who did that for us.
And in terms of looking towards the next seasons and the future seasons, as you say, once you join the collective, it's a thing for life, and it's a very nice thing to be a part of. It's intrinsic, it's down to the grassroots of the club that you support. So there is clearly value to it. Do you see a possible scenario going forward where that collective membership pricing will drop as the fact that you're not getting a One Soccer subscription, you're not getting a jersey, you're not getting a patch, or you probably would get a jersey, wouldn't you? But you're not getting a physical patch. There's a variety of benefits that were very this season, and understandably. But do you see a scenario in the future for someone to become a collective member? There might be a different rate that appears.
Honestly, most likely not. We wanted to keep it. It's for the people that exclusively joined during this time period, and if you were supporting the club during that time, which I mean, I know we have a ton of supporters that, again, pandemic hurts the wallet, things like that. We're not discounting anyone else, but if you joined, you're a part of it. We're not opening it up again. Unless maybe come this season we have another island game situation. You never know. You never know right now, but exactly.
Absolutely. Going back onto something that you mentioned earlier about deposits and them being allocated towards the 2021 season, and like there is a very much an assumption, of course, that most people who were interested in getting those season tickets this season will probably continue to go and do that next year. However, what if there is someone, for example, who is only going to be living in Ottawa for 12 months? They only had like a working contract here and they signed up for this with the idea, no one had any idea a pandemic was coming, but they had an idea that they were going to be here and they wanted to participate in this. But then actually they're not going to be here physically. They cannot for personal, professional reasons. Is there a way to refund that deposit, or is that deposit lost for them?
I mean, we're never going to take anyone's dollars, who can't fulfill on what they wanted to fulfill on. I feel like that was a layup for me, but
You're welcome.
there is definitely a few people that are going to be cautious in coming back to the stadium. Maybe they're not here. I know one of our deposit holders, he's actually an FC Edmonton fan who was getting, his work was moving here. He was getting a transfer, things like that. So he's actually didn't end up moving here. So, he potentially would be someone that I would be able to refund. But the goal is to keep all the deposits. The goal is to get as many people to the stadium, provide alternative options, always in the ticketing world. That's for sure. To just, keep the money with us, and we'll provide what we were meant to provide that unfortunately we couldn't this year.
And can I just push you on a little bit more on the member benefits in particular? What are some of those that we haven't spoken about, especially?
Oh no, I'm not in yet. One sec.
I can hear you.
There we are. Okay,
there we
perfect.
go. You're back in.
Before we
the member benefits have come up on screen there. If you want to talk us through some of those, did you want to say something first? Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, before we do, Eddie had a question in the chat there, just about continuing with European sizing with Macron. So just to address that quickly, because we've moved on from jerseys, but I mean it is the first member benefit here. So
yeah, well, that works perfectly.
Yes, European sizing will continue. Macron is an athletic company; they're a European company, so they're athletic fit with European sizing. So it's something we're working through, and it's honestly just on us to educate our fans on what sizing works with this brand. We are looking at bringing in more new era merchandise, which fits in the traditional North American size. But we are going to have Macron in our retail store for jerseys, for athletic wear, as well as some new era stuff. So learn your size, and that'll be your size forever. That's kind of what I'm trying to tell everyone. And it's basically 2 sizes up. If you're a large, you're a 2XL. If you're an XL, you're a 3XL. That's kind of just the way it's been.
I've been doing that conversion rate the other way since I got here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just on us to train the fans a little bit on how it works. And hopefully, it's not a pandemic world that we're living in, and everyone could just come to the games and try on the jersey before they buy it, and, that kind of thing. So member benefits. These are going to be changing slightly.
So just take us through what they are, whether they still exist now if someone wanted to sign up, and how things might be slightly changing, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. So 2021, everyone's still getting a jersey. It's something we promised from the beginning. One Soccer is something we hope to offer. It's slightly up in the air at the moment. But we're going to have clarity on that soon. It's out of our hands. It's something we want to offer, but we're going to have to see how that shakes out. I don't honestly have more info on that, but it may be the only benefit that's changing. First right of refusal on additional matches. So basically, if we make the playoffs, or we have a second Canadian championship or another friendly, you get access to your seats first before anyone. The next one being 20% off tickets. Is that right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm straining my eyes for that one now. Yes, I do.
I know these, I promise you. That's changing as well slightly. It's actually going to be, you're going to get your season seat rate on additional tickets, which is actually a larger discount than 20%. So we're actually making that a little better. 10% off additional tickets. Again, you can buy tickets at your season seat rate. If you want to bring a friend, you're actually going to get the season seat discounts about 26%. It averages out, depending on the entire stadium, at about 25% off casual tickets. So if you buy an entire season ticket versus buying a casual ticket every game, you're going to save 25%.
Okay.
So you're able to buy additional tickets at 25% off. 10% off merchandise, that's staying the same. We hope to do, a proper jersey launch event. We hope to do a Byron versus Atletico Madrid watch party coming in December. We hope to do, a town hall. We hope to do a supporter town hall where actually, we can all meet in person and chat about the club. So all those events would be, first invite to deposit holders, collective members. So if you're a season ticket holder or a deposit holder, you're going to get first invite to those things. In terms of no interest payment plans, we're going to have a pay in full, get 2% off. A 2-pay option, so you pay half up front and halfway through the season at no interest, and then we're going to have a 5-month 20% every month. So those are all no interest. Then this next one's changing slightly as well. What we're calling it is the full ticket flexibility. So basically, no ticket should ever go unused. If you're a season seat member, you are meant to have 15 tickets, one per every game if you have one seat, right? So if you can't come to 2 games, we'll move those 2 tickets for you. If you can't come to 4 games, we'll move those 4 tickets for you. It's no ticket goes unused. I don't want anyone coming to me or my team members at the end of the season saying, hey, I didn't use 5 of my tickets. I don't think I should be a season seat member. No ticket goes unused policy. We want it to, if you can't come to the first 3 games, but you want to bring 2 friends to the last 3 games, move your tickets. And then dedicated account rep. I mean, currently I sit as the only account rep for all of our deposit holders. So here I am.
So we have one person who's here we can chew off.
You're always welcome to call me. We'll hopefully be getting a new office number in the nearer future and not just calling my personal phone. But that's where you can call me. Reach me anytime on my personal phone.
Wonderful. I won't give that out just now, but you never know, it might pop up in the description. I think we can get a little graphic up here that looks at season ticket prices as well. I just want to speak about season tickets a little bit more here. There was something that I was reading on the website that just confused me a little bit. So if you could just clarify this, and just in case I misunderstood it, for the family add-ons bit, from what I read on the website, it stated that the season seat holders were entitled to 3 extra tickets, but non-season seat holders were entitled to 4. It confused me as to like what that actually meant.
I think you were reading into the collective.
Is that still the collective? Yes.
That's stuff with the collective. So I mean, no need to worry about that. Basically, we weren't. The collective, because One Soccer, you can watch, one Soccer membership you can watch on 3 different computers at once. So you didn't need to buy that many.
Okay.
You didn't need to buy that many. But anyway, season seat members. So all the prices are staying the same. There is one thing that I know is going to be a bit of a challenge as we're communicating is we went out with these prices and they don't actually include taxes and fees, which it does say at the bottom. So when you do look at some of these, you're adding taxes and fees on, which for most of them come out to between $60 and $75. So you're paying a little more than the prices are here, but prices are staying exactly the same. We're not upping the prices. One cool thing we're actually doing is we're changing Section N to our most affordable non-supporter section seat. So something in Section N is going to go for $299, taxes and fees included, for the entire season. So that's your best value ticket if you're not in that supporter culture, which we just want as many people at the game as possible. So everything's staying the same. We're trying to come up with a name that for actually Section N that fits in with the rest of our names for our sections here. So any ideas anyone has?
Fans?
Yeah, 100% we are. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we have a fan named section. Could be fun. Maybe we have a vote or something like that.
I think that's the right way to go about it. Get the fans involved with the team.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'm going to write that down right now.
Take that one to work in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So everything's pretty much staying the same. P1, P2, P3, P4 is all going to be general admission. Suites, clubs, and loges are all the same. There's no reason to change it. It's not broke yet. The only thing is Section N is changing to our alternative to supporter section option. What we were finding when we were calling, initial deposit holders, when we were still hopeful that a season was going to happen, in Ottawa, was people were booking Section W because it's the least expensive section, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't want people coming in, with their 2 kids and all this stuff and sitting in Section W and then, hearing swear words or, supporter stuff, which is fine, which is what we want. But we wanted to provide an alternative option where, they can sit on the opposite side, but still get something that's roughly the same price. So that's where
that Section N, is that under a season ticket policy, or is that general admission like on the day?
So it won't be general admission at all. It's going to be assigned, and it's going to be the least expensive non-supporter season ticket. So it's going to come in at about $300, all included, taxes and fees included, for 15 games, which comes out to under $20 a game. So
how do you work it so that it's because you're saying so it's your most affordable non-supporters culture seat? How do you work it to ensure that it doesn't get monopolized in that way, especially if it's so affordable?
Monopolized in what way? Like supporters coming there? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. If people are entitled to purchase tickets as of where they want, as of course they are, how do you sort of manage that aspect of it to say that one's more of a family zone?
I don't think it's a family zone. I don't think we're going to go down that path. We're trying to create a European atmosphere here, and we're trying to be true to our sister and our father club in Madrid, who won the Champions League game today, by the way.
I was going to say that had to be mentioned there.
João Felix is my favorite player, and he got 2 goals today, so I was pretty excited about that. Yeah, exactly. So it's not necessarily a family section. It's going to be a normal section where, like any of the other sections in the stadium that you can sit in, it's just going to be our most affordable option. That's not a supporter section. That's all it's really going for. And so the way we work around it is when I'm talking to someone and they say, well, I want to be in Section W, it's $210 plus tax. And then I usually ask them, okay, well, are you a supporter? And then they say, oh yes, I'm part of Capital City supporter group. And then, okay, great, I'll put you in Section W. But if not, no, I'm just looking for the least expensive option. Then I can say, well, why don't you check out Section N? That's really how it goes.
Okay, so sort of moving that around. So that's the way in which you're going to try and maintain that. And I don't use the word separation because it's not quite the right word in this sense, because it don't want a separated culture. But that's how it's going to be sort of managed in that sense. Good. It's good to hear. I just wanted to clarify that sense of it. Nick, we're coming into the last 10 minutes of the chat tonight. So obviously, if anyone's watching here tonight, first, make sure you head to Twitter or onto the live chat right now. You've got 10 more minutes to drop your questions in. There was something that I was on Facebook, of course, all the other ones. I just like Twitter better. What can I say? There was actually something that Eddie and I were speaking about the other day, and that was the U Sports draft. So can you give us a little bit more information about the whole, for people who actually don't know what the U Sports thing is, could you explain that? And then the U Sports draft, what's going on there?
I can a little bit. Honestly, I'm not super familiar with the U Sports draft. I think it's a great thing that the CPL does because there's a ton of talent actually in Canadian sports in university that's underutilized. I know something that's actually kind of cool that doesn't really relate to the question you're asking, but the have you ever heard of, and you may not have, but I know some people watching would have heard of them, but have you heard of the Kratt brothers before?
I have not, I'm afraid.
You have
Is
not.
this
So have you heard of the
quintessential
show
North American thing?
Zaboomafoo? Have you heard of that show before?
I have not. You are sending me
Okay.
down a path that I feel like
Okay.
Alice in Wonderland right here, just bemused by everything. I've gone down the
So
rabbit hole.
the Kratt brothers are like Steve Irwin. You know Steve Irwin, who is all about animals and stuff like that. So the Kratt brothers are like a toned down version of him, who do like kid shows and things like that, all about animals, and they're actually based in Ottawa. And they're world famous. Like people know who the Kratt brothers are, except for you, unfortunately. Anyway, their son has committed to they're deposit holders, and their son is actually committed to go to Carleton University because of, and he's a phenomenal soccer player. He's committed 2 years early to play university soccer in Ottawa. And he actually committed because of the U Sports draft and the pathway in Canadian soccer right now. So U Sports draft, I mean, we've had guys from the Ottawa area in Carleton actually go in the first round a couple times, or multiple players is what I should say. And I don't know how much we're going to use it because of the scouting system we have in Madrid. And basically the way we kind of work in identifying players is Madrid uses their database and uses how they rank players and things like that. And they actually provide a recommendation to Fernando. Okay, we're looking for a right back. Okay, here's 7 right backs. Here's all their info. Here's their agent. See what you can do, see who you can get, that kind of thing. That's more or less how we work on the player finding side of things. But I think the U Sports draft is a phenomenal way for, first of all, Canadian talent to actually get into the CPL and have a pathway. And it's great for the local communities and the local university as well to have that exposure.
So the idea behind that is sort of more that Atletico Ottawa will hopefully be utilising the U Sports draft in the sense that trying to retain Canadian talent, but you're very much going to exploit the Spanish roots and the network that's already set up in Spain. And so we're going to be seeing a lot more VT Martinez's in the next couple of years at Atletico. Yeah.
Let's just say we're never going to leave an international roster spot unfilled. That is one thing we can guarantee from our team.
That's a very good political answer. I've enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Nick, before we come on to the sort of final chapter of our chat this evening, because I feel like this one might roll out and get us off the live stream pretty quickly. I just want to say a big thank you for coming on this evening and clearing up some of the questions that people had. I'm very excited and very much looking forward to what's coming in the next couple of weeks and months, and juggling around and seeing where the season's going to end up. So make sure everybody watching to go and follow Nick Ryan on Twitter. What's your at on Twitter there, Nick?
I think it's Atleti Nick.
Yeah, there we go. So make sure you go and type in Nick Ryan, Director of Ticketing. You'll find him because you get some really good updates there. Make sure you head to all of the social media channels to Capital City Supporters Group as well if you want some really up-to-date and current information and just general rants about the club, as we do. And as a last hopeful teaser, I mean, I've asked you for a couple of questions so far this evening to which you haven't been able to provide me an answer with. We've been seeing some videos coming out on Twitter recently of In the Bubble. There was an episode 1, and then there was another video with Malik Hamilton the other day as well. What more can Atletico fans expect and look forward to during this off season?
Yeah, so starting next week, we're actually launching a continued deposit drive. So there's going to be some cool content around that. Yes, it is sales driven, but that's something where we're hoping, our current fans and the ones who love seeing us play this year will share, and we can get, hundreds more deposits. That would be awesome to help fill the stands for next year. But right now, what we're working on is as we announced last week, is 2 video series. One being Atleti in the Bubble, which mainly shows Ben Fisk interviewing players with some comical questions. Some collective members may have already seen some of this stuff. It was part of some exclusive content that we released. The other one is Atleti Confessions, which actually has me interviewing a couple of our players, Fisk and Hamilton. So luckily tonight we have the exclusive premiere of Atleti in the Bubble Part 2. It won't be out on social media till Tuesday. No, sorry, what day is today? Today's Tuesday. It won't be out on social media till Thursday. So here it is. We have the premiere of Atleti in the Bubble Part 2, starring Milovan Kupur and Ben Fisk.
Phenomenal stuff. Thank you very much for joining us, Nick. Thank you everyone for watching and ensuring that supporters culture continues to keep growing in terms of football, not soccer. It continues growing inside the capital city. Very much excited about what's to come, and Nick, looking forward to having you back on soon.
Yeah, I hope to be on every time you guys do this. So happy to have you.
2 out of 2, mate. You're 2 out of 2.
It's perfect. Let's keep it going. Thanks, Thomas.
Cheers, matey. Have a good night.
Enjoy, everyone. Yes, enjoy.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy the video.
I'm here now with the Serbian spy, Milovan Kupur. Milovan, how you doing tonight?
Good, that's about yourself.
Very good, thank you. A couple questions for you this evening, if you don't mind.
No.
Okay. Married man,
Yeah.
baby on the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very important question. Which player on this team would you least like to introduce to your wife?
Probably be the one closest, not you, but the roommate that I'm with, Ricky Gomes.
Why is that?
Let's just say he has his way with the ladies.
Okay. I can see that. I mean, not the worst looking guy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Building off that, which guy on this team would you not be worried whatsoever to introduce to your missus?
That's a good question. Top of my head, probably VT. Just because I don't think my wife would understand them, first of all. And then second of all...
Also terrible haircut.
Yeah. By far one of the worst haircuts.
Agreed.
Maybe behind Antoine. But, he's still young, Antoine, yeah. Sorry about that.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
Thanks, Milo.
Appreciate it, guys.